I'm about as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe. House Digital.
Maserati, Rick in Detroit. Convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude. Strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game. Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes. Craig Pettis in the M-Town. Sal Magluta with the boat game. Falcone with the cocaine. Like Freeway Ricky with the plug game. Like Monster Cody in South Central. Larry Davis from close range.
Well, new information tonight about an alleged drug kingpin who managed to escape from the Clark County Jail.
Tonight, we are learning 42-year-old Darrin Southall may have had some inside help with his escape. NBC 15's Rachel Wilkerson joins us now with details. Rachel?
Kim, I'm told Southall allegedly bribed an officer with around $50,000 to escape. Tonight, law enforcement agencies are investigating what went on behind the scenes prior to the escape and also a possible connection to a high-profile murder.
I forward print, he gon' roll like a rush. She gave me hair, I kick my leg on like a horse. Free uncle by the fed, throwing bricks up out the car. Talking out his head, or that leg, took his voice. Now take that shit back.
Hello everyone, I'm Devin Walsh. We begin with breaking news this afternoon. The grandparents of a local rapper shot and killed, then their home set on fire. The grim details just revealed by emotional family members at the scene. WKRG News 5's Nicolette Schleisman is live near the home on Dr. Thomas Avenue. Nicolette?
You can see behind me there are still a lot of people here investigating. Calling it gruesome. They've also identified the two as Leela and Tony Lewis and were the head of their families. And we've also learned that they are the grandparents of local rapper Honeycomb Brazy. Now, the family says that a neighbor saw a car pull up and shoot into their home, and the house then went up into flames. Witnesses tell us that they heard a boom and what sounded like a bunch of shots around the time of the fire. This all happened on Dr. Thomas Avenue around 6:30 last night. The home is destroyed and the fire was so big that it damaged the home next door.
She was a mother to all our kids. She was more than a grandmama. He was more than a granddaddy. He was a father. He helped us raise our children. My mama and my daddy did not deserve to die like they did. And we want justice, because ain't no peace. Ain't no peace in how they left here. Ain't no peace. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I want my mama and I want my daddy. And I know I can't have them. I know I can't have them.
Anyone with information to come forward. Police have not confirmed the identity of the victims involved and any details on what happened or if anyone has been arrested. Reporting live in North Mobile, Nicolette Schleisman, WKRG News 5.
And a Mobile rapper is going back to prison just a few hours ago. A judge revoking probation for Honeycomb Brazy.
The decision comes more than a month after a hearing for the rapper, whose real name is Nashawn Jones.
Fox News' Shelby Myers joining us here in studio with the very latest on this. And Shelby, it looks like Jones is going back to prison for a long time.
Yeah, it does, Byron and Lenise. Jones only served 18 months of a 15-year sentence on a gun charge. But the DA's office telling me about an hour ago that he'll now have to finish that original 15-year sentence. It's due in part to more guns.
It's back to prison for local rapper Honeycomb Brazy. The rapper, whose real name is Nashawn Jones, was on probation after a conviction on a charge of being a felon in possession of a firearm. In a June 16th hearing, prosecutors asked a judge to send him back to prison for violating the terms of that probation. They presented 15 video clips showing Jones with guns or drugs, saying he didn't show up for much of his meetings with his probation officer, and also said Jones admitted to using drugs while on probation. The defense argued that the guns and drugs in the videos were stage props for music videos. Even if true, the judge wrote in his order, that does not explain a shootout that the defendant was present for in Montgomery that was caught on surveillance video at a barber shop. The documents say Jones' associates traded gunfire with unknown assailants, and Jones later posted an account of the incident on social media. When prosecutors accused Jones of failing to check in with his probation officer, the defendant implied that he ignored the orders to report because he feared his life was in danger following the killing of his grandparents, Tony and Layla Lewis. His attorneys say Jones wanted to attend their funeral and then get out of town.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all hear this junk?
Jones's grandparents died in a shooting and house fire in the Happy Hills community in February. No one has been arrested in that case. Jones' defense attorney Jeff Dean tells me in part, quote, "I wish the judge had denied the state's motion to revoke Nashon's probation. His creativity influences and inspires others in his social circle. However, I can understand the judge's opinion. We plan on appealing the decision."
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb ties. We on our way to Alabama with it. Mobile. I guess Bowen County. I don't know. Y'all, my Alabama niggas, let me know where we at, man. Now, today we are going to be covering a complex story. I'm going to let y'all determine what we covering. Y'all get in the comment box. Let me know after y'all tap in with this one. The fuck? Now, today we are going to be covering a guy by the name of Darrin Southall. Now, in my research of Mr. Southall, or we just gonna call him DD. Now, in my research of DD, gosh, man, I found a complex just web of different shit. So where I'm gonna start is, he is right now facing federal prosecution for allegedly running a multi-million-dollar drug distributing operation in and around Alabama. But on top of that, out of all the people that I covered, and when I say all, I mean everybody I covered on Mobb Ties, when you search his name in Google, it lights up, but not where you would think it lights up at. So the first thing people think is when they go to Google is like, oh, let me Google search this person. Let me type their name in the search bar. Boom, hit that. That's what you got. But Google has different tabs. So I'm just on here and I hit the news tab and boom, he has more news feeds, or almost more news feeds than he has on regular Google. And it goes back all the way to 1999, and it is just a wide scale of everything from drug dealing to murder to possible cooperation with the police, and we're gonna get into the whole thing. Now, since we brought up the drug conspiracy, we're gonna kind of start there. Now, authorities are going to say that he ran a drug operation. So while being held at a federal facility for this, he allegedly escaped from that facility, and he was said to have been aided by a fellow employee that worked there, and they're going to say that he paid that employee $50,000 to, I guess, get him plain clothes, to have him released like he was a regular customer. I did see where he was again captured, and he was federally indicted on the charges of that escape. And I did see where he put in a guilty plea. He would go back in and take that guilty plea back, and then he would eventually plead guilty to that escape charge. That's just that's not even the beginning. So we brought up the drug charge because that's where he is currently. Now, it starts when I was doing research on him. I seen that a guy by the name of Darrin Southall had popped up in the investigation of a guy by the name of Leroy Vidal Johnson. Now, according to
the United States government. And it's just ironic that Mr. Vidal Johnson was in Alabama. So that kind of, we can't allege that they asked for paperwork. Is this the same Didi that we talking about? Now they're gonna say that Leroy Vidal Johnson was a high-level drug dealer, and in his transcripts of his court paperwork, they're gonna say a guy by the name of Darrin Southall had testified that he had bought cookies of crack from Jackson 2 or 3 times a week from 1999 until Leroy Jackson was arrested in 2001. Now it's a lot of rampant rumors going around the internet saying that Honeycomb Brazy was beefing with a snitch and things of that nature. So I found that kind of a little ironic when I stumbled on that, but that's just one term of it, because by all accounts, Darrin Southall was into everything. Now, researching him, I seen where Pritchard police were searching for a man that was involved with a shooting outside of a restaurant on January 14th of 2019. And authorities will go on to say that Darrin Southall was sitting at a restaurant, this restaurant being Morning at Cozy Brown's Kitchen on, looks like St. Stephen's Road. Anybody that ever been to that restaurant, y'all let us know. We trying to see if they got good food. Now, they're going to say that Darrin Southall was there with a female companion, and they were sitting at a table when a second man by the name of Anderson Kendrick walked in and saw the couple. He headed towards their table and started beating Southall, and then he left the restaurant. Now, they say Southall followed Kendrick, took out a handgun, and fired 3 shots, hitting Kendrick in the right leg. Kendrick was taken to University of South Alabama Medical Center for non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities would allege Southall was last seen leaving the restaurant in a red PT Cruiser. So that was one of the things that stood up, and actually kind of the first thing besides the other Darrin Southall we trying to identify, because they don't put no pictures in these indictments. But besides the information that we've seen from Leroy Vidal's indictment, that was the first signs I seen, because everything that happened with Leroy Vidal was in the early 2000s, so it was from 1999 to 2001. Now, fast forward to the present future, Darrin Southall is also a person of interest in one of the highest profile murders that we had in 2000, well, pretty much in the last few years. It's going to be the murder of Honeycomb Brazy's grandparents. And in that murder, their house, which is in the Happy Hill section of Alabama, was fired upon, and the house was actually set on fire. During the newscast, they're going to say that the house was shot up and then set ablaze, but what actually happened, I think authorities determined that Southall, or not Southall, they determined that whoever was involved in this shooting, during the course of the shooting, they had high-powered rifles. Those rifles actually hit oxygen tanks that were in the house. The house would engulf in flames, burning down the house, essentially causing a tragedy and outrage that had his entire family on the news, pleading about these deaths and pleading for some justice. So this is just a crazy, crazy, crazy case. I really wanted to cover it. This one sounds like it's probably going to come to trial like within a year, because it's just so many complex layers to it, with the $1 million drug conspiracy, along with this escape from the federal penitentiary, along with the murder of Honeycomb Brazy's grandparents, which is still under investigation. So I don't see no charges being brought on that within the next 6 months. But if he is charged with everything, this is going to be a hell of a case. Might even sound like a death penalty case. I don't know. Y'all get in the comment box. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the snitch allegations. Y'all let me know what y'all think about his chances of beating this case is. And y'all let me know what y'all would do if y'all was facing this case. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter. It's your boy Popalot, POP_A_LOT. Y'all hit the bell right under this video if y'all want to know when this trill spill shit is dropping. Y'all make sure y'all comment below. Y'all get under the pictures on Instagram, direct message me, call me, hit my phone, email me, CC me, stop me in the street. However, it's your boy Popalot. Y'all already know what it is. It's the Mobb. Mobb ties.